This is the aircraft carrier I meant to, or the airplane I meant to talk about. Oh, by the way, this is Steel Song Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver and some platinum. Be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's better than being a jerk. I did a video a couple weeks ago, and I had mentioned A10, and what I meant was the Sky Warden. It's going to replace the A10 because the loiter time is like 6 to 10 hours, and it can carry just as many munitions and do all kinds of stuff. But I had said something about the A10 and I messed up my words. This is a correction for that video. This is from Ed Nash Military Matters. And this is the airplane that they are good for expense as well. This one's a lot cheaper, just as well armored or defendable armored, and carries a lot of weapons. Goes low, slow, and can loiter for a lot longer than the A10, and it's like fucking a tenth the price, it's a 20th of the price, so you can get more of them. But anyhow, here's the short video of the correction to my misstatement that a lot of my subscribers corrected me on. I was a little bit too stoned, spoke out of turn. I knew what I was talking about, but I said the wrong thing, and so I have to correct it. So I found this video to correct that mistake error that I made in talking error. So talking error I made. This is the plane right here. It is a propeller plane.
Just awarded a contract for a new attack aircraft, though it might appear
Hold on.
just awarded a contract for a new attack aircraft.
That's the Defense Department just offered a new contract, and this is the contracted airplane. Look at those missile slots right here. If you see my cursor, it's got room for 8 missiles. It's got the guns up front. It's got everything you need. Goes low, goes slow, loiters in the air for long periods
Though
of time.
it might appear a little different from the sort of aeroplanes that the services of that nation's military.
I mean, look at that. Those are the two big ones, and then you can have like a grouping of 4 anti personnel or anti ground. 4 more. So there's 16 anti personnel, 2 big like tank destroyers, plus it's got machine guns. It's pretty badass.
Generally acquire. On the 1st of August, the United States Special Operations Command, SOCOM.
See, there it is right there. They're there right there. The grouping of 4 I was telling you about. If you can see it. See, so you can fit 2 of those up in on each side, so you have 16 missiles. And that's a radar type surveillance thing. I don't know what the hell that big sucker is.
Confirmed that they had chosen the L3 Harris Skywarden to provide their next generation of air support. 6 aircraft have been ordered as a pre-production batch, with the purchase and development costs being $170 million. But the stated intention is to buy a total of 75 Skywardens at a total fixed cost of $3 billion for the program. The Skywarden is based on the Air Tractor AT-802 agricultural aircraft, which is why it has...
Okay, so we're definitely dropping our technology in the Air Force or in the Navy or Marines for air support for troops if we're going to a crop duster. I can see it now. Trying to say this politically correct so I don't get a strike. Some radical who likes to give up their own life for a perceived cause goes to the other world after being taken out by a crop duster and sitting around with his brothers. Hey, I took out like 20 people when I blew myself up. What did you do? Oh, I was going somewhere. I got taken out by a crop duster. Oh, sorry. Bad humor, but it's still fucking humor.
Has a somewhat unusual look for a military aircraft. But for the requirement, it does make sense. The AT-802 is designed to be a tough working aircraft that can haul a fair amount of weight, be comparatively easy and cheap to maintain, economical to run, and with a long loiter time at low levels.
a
L3
long
Harris
loiter
essentially
time.
take new build air tractors and add a whole bunch of extras to turn the aircraft into the Skywarden. These include up to 11 hardpoints and store stations, giving the Skywarden a maximum combat payload of 6,000 pounds. But more important is
6,000 pounds is quite a bit of payload for a small plane like that. And it can go low and slow and get very accurate on hitting stuff.
the electronic suite that is fitted, which includes laser designators, infrared imaging systems, plus anti-aircraft missile defenses. And in contrast to its rugged and comparatively
I mean, look at that. Damn, that's a nice crop duster.
simple routes, the Skywarden's two-man crew have a cockpit layout that wouldn't be out of place on a modern fighter aircraft,
No crap.
with hands-on throttle and stick controls and cutting-edge data displays with touchscreen integration. L3 say that the aircraft will be able to stay on
Oh, my
station,
bad.
providing support.
My bad. You see those missiles there? How many are there? It looks like 2, 4, 6, looks like 8. 16, so they can carry 32 missiles, plus this big thing, plus the radar and camera imaging things. Man, this thing's loaded.
Or conducting exploration and reconnaissance missions for more than 8 hours. All of this means that the Skywarden is capable of both providing targeting information for strike aircraft, liaising with special forces teams on the ground, and conducting precision targeting strikes of its own accord. For this, the aircraft is capable of carrying
4,
and using
5,
70mm
6,
rockets,
7, 8.
GBU-12 paveway bombs, Hellfire missiles, and the SOP-GM series of weapons, comprised primarily of the GBU-39 small diameter bomb and AGM-176 Griffin laser-guided missile. It might seem odd that the US military is buying these aircraft now, what with all the attention in the news on the major conflict in Ukraine and tensions in China ratcheting up. But truth be told, despite all the doomsaying, the primary hot military engagements for the United States are, and probably will be for the foreseeable future, still in low-level insurgencies, not peer-to-peer conflict. And naturally, US SOCOM is the agency that is performing this role in conflict zones that get
SOCOM.
practically no attention from the outside world, in a host of countries, mainly across Africa and the Middle East. Obviously, the last 20 years have given SOCOM a massive experience in the sort of aircraft that it wants for the role of supporting its ground teams and allied militaries in the field against insurgents and lightly equipped forces. And one of the lessons it seems to have really taken to heart
Maintenance.
is maximising capability while minimising operational costs. After all, aircraft like the A-10 may have been real stalwarts throughout the War on Terror and the intervention in Syria, but they are not cheap to run. And for many of the aforementioned low-grade conflicts that are currently receiving US SOCOM attention, the military instead generally deploys the far more economical and less well-known U-28A Draco. This aircraft, derived from the civilian PC-12, has been conducting intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance (ISR) missions, with light transport thrown in, for US Special Forces since 2001. And now the Skywarden is to replace it, and the experience of operating a specialist aircraft based on an extremely common and economical civilian aircraft no doubt has impressed on SOCOM the value of such a concept. I'm sure there are some out there wondering about the sense of employing a manned aircraft like the Skywarden instead of using UAVs, such as the new General Atomics Mojave, which is expected to be in service soon, if not already. After all, this is designed to provide reconnaissance, close air support, and armed overwatch, and be capable of operating from rough and short field strips. Effectively the same mission as the Skywarden, but without risking any personnel. One can only assume that US SOCOM still firmly believes that sometimes you need the guys
8 hours of loiter time, 6,000 pounds of carrying weight, 25,000 service ceiling, flexible payload of 11 storage stations, wheels, takeoff weight 16,000 pounds. This thing's pretty badass.
on the spot, arguably with greater situational awareness and less interference from the chain of command, to be able to make the call and pull the trigger. Considering the remote nature, secretive, and potential for rapid situational changes that their typical missions entail, that seems like a sound reason. But if anyone from US SOCOM wants to weigh in on their reasoning, feel free. Putting crews into harm's way in a converted crop duster might seem somewhat
70,
reckless. After
The
all,
Hydra
the aircraft
70
is
70
probably
millimeter
going to spend a
rockets,
fair bit of time loitering over
16
remote
of them.
places at low level,
Holy
where the
crap.
biggest threat to them will be small arms fire. But in addition to missile detection and countermeasure systems, the Skywarden has armour for the crew and engine, and self-sealing tanks. So, though it might appear a bit strange, and likely you will hear comparatively little about the actions it is involved in over its forthcoming career, the Skywarden is likely to be one of the most active manned combat aircraft for the next decade at least.
I should say so. That is interesting. Game changer in the fact that it's 8-hour loitering time. I think the A10 only has like an hour and a half loiter time, which means you really got to go fast and limited on time. Another plane's got to come in, scoot past all the radar stuff. It's a real logistical nightmare. Where these little planes can fly low and slow, under most radar, very quiet, and very accurate. Did you see that cockpit? I mean, and the price, what, $3 billion for 120 of them? That's pretty damn good. You can't even come close to that many warthogs. So it looks like this Skywarden is a very, very good and economical replacement for the A10 Warthog. Anyhow, you guys have a nice evening. Thank you for watching.